Hello, it is 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the Minister of Foreign Affairs represent the President of the Republic at a virtual meeting on Sudan. Deep talent crowns to future stars of local song. High expectations for the governments of national unity in South Africa. Welcome to our newsroom. Today, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation participate in the meeting of the Peace and Security Council at the level of the head of state and government, which was held virtually. The minister represented the head of state at this important meeting chaired by the President Yoweri Museveni in his capacity as President of the PCS for the month of June 2024. The meeting considered the report of the chairpersons of the African Union Commissions on the situations in the Republic of Sudan. During these sessions, the minister read and transmitted the message from the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh. And listen to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf.
To start by expressing the apologies of His Excellency President Ismail Omar Guelleh, the President of the Republic of Djibouti and the Chair of IGAD, for not being able to attend this very important meeting due to prior commitment. I'm honored to deliver his message to this Council. I quote, "Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, at the outset, I would like to thank His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, for convening this crucial and timely meeting on the Sudan. I will also express our appreciation to the Chairperson of the African Union Commission and the Executive Secretary of IGAD for their reports on the situation in the Sudan and their relentless efforts and genuine commitment to try and help resolve this crisis. The Sudan has slid into a destructive war since April 2023. The conflict between RSF and SAF has caused huge amount of suffering to the Sudanese people since then. Thousands of civilians were killed and millions were displaced. The humanitarian situation is more than dire, and all competent agencies have reported all kinds of violations to human rights happening until today. More recently, the North Darfur region is under attack. More than 28,000 people have already been displaced, while the main city of North Darfur, El Fasher, is under siege by RSF forces. This has to stop immediately. As chair of IGAD, Djibouti has called for a humanitarian ceasefire on several occasions. IGAD held several meetings at summit level and other meetings at lower levels, conducted dialogue with warring parties, sent special envoys, but unfortunately, these efforts have not produced the expected results. IGAD, the African Union, the United Nations, and other international mediators have been trying their level best to broker a cessation of hostilities, truce, but without success. The UN Security Council have threatened to impose sanctions and did it on some stakeholders. We need, as IGAD and the African Union platform, to come up with an innovative approach. Our teams, the African Union, high-level panel, and the IGAD Special Envoy are requested to move quickly towards that goal. Djibouti will host in July a meeting with all mediators and will strive to work on a coordinated approach, result-oriented and focused on achievable immediate objective, which is the cessation of hostilities. Your Excellencies, the political process cannot wait any longer. It should be put back on track, which is indeed a necessary step forward. The question is when and how and who are the stakeholders in the Sudan that could shoulder that responsibility. It is up to the Sudanese people, political parties, civil society organizations, and national labor forces, unions, youth and women associations to come up with a shared vision for the future of the Sudan. We, as the regional and continental communities, we can only help and assist in a manner that is not perceived as a breach or a violation of the sovereignty of this brotherly country. Now, Djibouti will make a few recommendations to this Council in order to act in a way that will enable the cessation of hostilities, call the RSF and SAF to stop immediately the fighting in Darfur and other regions in the Sudan, call the RSF commander and the Supreme Council commander to meet under the auspices of IGAD African Union platform without further ado, allow without hindrances the unconditional access of the humanitarian assistance to the people in the Sudan, prepare the ground for an all-inclusive Sudanese-led dialogue in July, insist on accountability and launch investigation on reported human rights violations. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the Sudan has reached an inflection point where the country could dislocate if this senseless war continues in the unpredictable way. Actually, it is the scenario that is already unfolding. Our Council should not wait until it happens, for the aftermath and the consequences could be disastrous. End of quote. I thank you for your kind attention.
This Friday, June 21, 2024, at the end of the morning, the President of the National Assembly, His Excellency Dileita Mohamed Dileita, transmitted a message from the Head of State, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, addressed to His Excellency Denis Sassou Nguesso, President of the Republic of Congo. The message expresses support for the candidacy of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, for the positions of Chairperson of the African Union Commission. During this meeting, the President of the Parliament transmitted the fraternal greetings of His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh to his brothers and counterpart, His Excellency Denis Sassou Nguesso, President of the Republic of Congo. He underlined the importance of the candidacy of Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, recognized for his experience and his dedication for the Pan-African causes. The President of the Republic of Congo, Brazzaville, His Excellency Denis Sassou Nguesso, warmly welcomed these messages and conveys these fraternal greetings to his counterpart, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh. For the past 3 days, a World Bank delegation has been in Djibouti for intensive discussions following the ranking of Container Port Performance Index. This index, drawn up annually by the World Bank and Standards & Poor's Global Market Intelligence, aims to measure the time spent by ships in port. However, recent assessments have not met with the unanimous approvals, prompting a lively debate between the Djibouti authorities and international experts. Early yesterday afternoon, after 3 days of the lively and constructive discussions, the differences persisted. The President of the Port Authority, Abubakar Omar Hadi, surrounded by his close collaborators, provided essential clarification to the World Bank experts. At the heart of the disagreement lay the inclusions of external factors independent of the port and the calculations of the index, in particular the security situation in the Red Sea and the additional verifications, inspections, and authorizations procedure required for cargo bound for Yemen have made the situations more complex. Since September 2023, these measures have been reinforced in response to the UN Security Council resolutions 2016. Djibouti has responded to this humanitarian appeal. The vessel is known by the acronym UNVMW, managed and operated by the United Nations Offices for Project Services, transmitted through Djibouti for security and inspections reasons. In fact, Djibouti finds itself penalized for its humanitarian commitment, as the time spent in port by these vessels due to the security measures has been unfairly included by the IPPC calculation. The World Bank's algorithms was unable to correct this aberration due to a lack of precedent. The Republic of Djibouti finds itself as the victims of a biased assessment on its exemplary humanitarian actions. For his part, the representative of the World Bank said that the time spent vessels imports devoted to search and security measures should not have a negative impact on the port rankings. This situation calls for a revisions of the IPPC criteria to integrate such an exceptional context, thus respecting Djibouti's right of altruism and solidarity. From today's broader perspective, should Djibouti's situation serve as a case studies for the World Bank, which should consider issues such as this before publishing their report. Furthermore, this debate highlights the importance of a nuanced and contextual analysis of data in the international rankings in order to do justice to the efforts of nations engaged in complex issues such as this. The World Bank's experts have recognized the case and exceptionalities of this situation. For his part, the Minister of Finance, Ilyas Moussa Daouda, said that the major advances in terms of data digitization provided by the DPCS made it possible to provide the necessary answers. The experts praised the major advances, citing that the Republic of Djibouti was ahead of a large majority of the world's port. It was thus agreed that Djibouti cooperation between the World Bank and Port and Free Zone authorities should be strengthened in the field of digitization and capacity building. In addition, the APZF undertook to make their data available with a view to correcting the IPPC within the next 6 months. It was agreed that the World Bank would support APZF in providing trainings to other African ports. 3 days ago, the Palo-flagged moved Verbena was attacked in the Gulf of Aden, 70 miles from the Djibouti. The vessels Anameta rescues the crew of the attacked vessels 500 meters outside of our territorial waters, approximately 13 nautical miles from Djibouti, in accordance with the provisions of the 1974 SODIAS Convention. The ports and zones authorities immediately assisted the survivors of the attack. The nationalities of those rescued were 18 Ukrainian, 1 Indian, 1 Sri Lankan, and 3 Nepalese. This message is from the chairman of the Djibouti Port and Free Zone Authority is no sailors at sea, no maritime trade. They sacrifices their lives for us. The Djiboutian Agency for Road and the directions of the launched the inspections operations of carrying sites on Thursday. Representatives of the General Labor Inspectorate and the Environment Directorate took part in the operations, which aims to ensure that carryings and extractionist activities are properly supervised. Carryings plays a crucial role in economic development, particularly in infrastructure constructions. However, it is imperative that these activities are carried out in a responsible and environmentally friendly manner while ensuring the safety of workers and the local communities. The aim of the inspection is to verify that operations have the necessary permits and comply with the conditions stipulated by current national legislation, and to guarantee safety and working conditions to protect workers and verify the working standards applied on operating site. This inspections operation will continue, and in the event of the non-compliance, corrective measures will be demanded and sanctions may be applied according to the seriousness of the infringement observed. ADR invites all carry site operators to cooperate fully with the inspections team and to provide the documents required to facilitate the smooth running of these operations. This approach is designed to ensure that our country's natural resources are exploited responsibly, sustainably, and in compliance with the regulatory text. The final stage of the JIB Talent Contest took place last night at the Esplanade of the People's Palace for the final candidates of the 3 local languages. The final stage of JIB Talent Contest is one of the JIB Talent Contest is one of the RTD's most eagerly awaited event of the week, and enthusiasm for these entertainment programs unprecedented in Djibouti. These shows allow the public to enjoy themselves and dance to the rhythms of Djiboutian music. The idea behind the show, Discover the Future of Star of Afar, Somali, and Arabic song, selected by two juries of the three artists each and submitted to a popular vote via SMS. Jeep Talents has become the flagship programs of RTD, which has mobilized its technicians and musicians to meet the expectations of the young Jeep Talent artists, the participants who are fans of the artists, and above all, the public who have been enjoying this national program since last September. RTD has worked hard to ensure that the Jeep Talent reality show reaches a wide audience through broadcasting channels and digital platforms in partnership with the Ministry of Youth and Culture, which has played a leading role in raising awareness, mobilizing and inviting young people to take part in the program. In this sense, the Ministry of Youth and Culture is and remains a cornerstone for the success of Jeep Talent reality show. A young prodigy from the Dakhel region is Medina Loita Habib with a score of 18.820. She impressed the judges and audiences with her exceptional voice and captivating stage presence. The grandniece of the famous national star Père Robert, this young artist began singing at an early age. She was soon noticed by her friends and teachers for her unique voice, which exuded deep emotions. During the competitions, Medina Loita Habib performed an original song that touched the hearts of the audience. Her gentle yet powerful voice won over the judge, who called her a true raw talent with a score of 18.820. Her on-stage performance was full of energy and patience, eliciting enthusiastic cheers from the crowd who turned out yesterday from all corners of the Djibouti city. On the Somali side, Mohammed Ibrahim, a young prodigy from Ali Sabih, who took first place with a score of 16.5. His victory gave hope to many others young talent to pursue their dreams, showing that anything is possible with hard work, determination, and talent. On the Arabic side, the winners was Umar Abdo with a score of 15.1. The highlights of the evening were the winners' prize-giving ceremony, the warmest and most emotional moments of the evening. The candidates were called up to the podiums and to receive the famous podium. Candidates were delighted to receive the amount of 800,000 francs each. Second place is 500,000 each, and the third place for 300,000 for each. Congratulations message from the officials who remain their admirers. The evening was filled with songs and dances as everyone celebrated the well-deserved victories of our respected candidates. The fierce support and encouragement marked by the beginning of the new era for the winners, who felt supported and encouraged by their friend, families and regions. In attendance were the technical advisor to the Minister of Youth and the Director of General of RTD, the President of the Commune of Bulaus and Balbala, the Director of the People's Palace, the Director of Insertions, and several other personalities from the two communes, as well as hundreds of spectators from Djibouti City and other regions of the interior. In addition to the contestant, RTD's Young Health Group, who had turned out in May, gave us speeches in which they expressed their pride in seeing young prodigy for whom there are models of inspirations. Last night, 6 young male and female singers, all with the golden voice, competed against each other. This final stages of the competition was broadcast live on RTD radio and channel. At the end of the evening, RTD managing director, he thanked the organizers and partners, radio, televisions, the respective communes, and all for their part, those in charges of this context. At the end of the event, the General Director of RTD, Adan Abdi Jama, said that he was proud of these Jeep talent programs which allow the young nationals to compete on equal terms in a musical cultural event. He strongly thanked the partners, organizers of this musical singing competition, the young competitors, the radio televisions of Djibouti, in particular the presenters, the juries, as well as the musicians who gave everything to this entertainment program, which is so followed and appreciated by the general public. My thanks also go to our partners who contributed to the success of this gem of reality TV, that is Jeep Talents. He continued. He also thanked the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, the First Lady and President of the UNFD, for the tireless efforts made by the to enhance the images of our country. He also expressed his best wishes to the President of the Republic as well as to the First Lady for iron health, a long, fuller, and more successful life. The RTD #1 did not forget to thank the National Police in general, and in particular the Director General of the National Police, Mr. Abdurrahman Ali Kahin, for his commitment and goodwill, which reflects the uprightness of his persons and his professionalism. The police have always been on our side to ensure the safety, security, and success of this show. A competition is closed with the final ceremony, which excited everyone. The grand finalists of the Jeep Talent show mobilized many supporters last night in the town of Ali Sabih to support their young candidate, Muhammad Ibrahim Suge, from the town of Ali Sabih. As we see these images everywhere in the town of Ali Sabih, houses, meeting places, supporters are expressing their support for the young candidate. Follow the live broadcast at the CDC. The supporters of the Ali Sabih voted massively by SMS in favor of their winners of the evening. As in Djibouti City, the final stage of the Jeep Talent competition took place in the Tajorra region, the White City. The atmosphere was great on this beautiful and competitive evening, just like the event which aroused the enthusiasm of the general public. And present at this event were prefectural and regional authorities, the director of CDC, artists from the regions, as well as participants from 4 corners of the Tajorra regions. Under the aegis of the Prefect of Tajura, Mohammed Hamad Abbas, held a meeting for the preparations of the festivity of the 47th anniversary of independence in full swing, marked by the activities of cleaning and beautifications of the city of Tajura. He is eager to celebrate the national holidays as it should be. The Prefecture plays the role of conductors in the process of preparing for the June 27 festivities and celebrating the holidays with the great pomp and in a healthy and clean atmosphere. It is in this context that we have completely dislodged the arteries of the road, which are getting a facelift. In addition, the white maritime facade of the city, embellished by the color of the national flag, is obvious and reflects the desire to beautify the city for these beautiful independence festivities. The Prefect Mohammed Hamad Abbas, in his intervention, is that this renunciations of preparationists did not remain unnoticed because the unfailing commitment of the Tajurans in our side proved the incarnations of patriotic feeling. Following the elections of the president of the Ali Sabih Regional Bus Union, which took place on Friday, June 14, 24, of which Mahmoud Farah Waberi was elected president of the Ali Sabih Regional Bus Union, a receipt ceremony took place at the offices of the prefect of Ali Sabih region. This event, chaired by the prefect of the region, is Abdul Malik Muhammad Banoita. He saw the presence of the union administration is committed at the new president of the Ali Sabih Regional Union, Mahmoud Farah Waberi. On this occasion, the prefect presented the president elected with the recognitions receipt. Recalled that Mahmoud Farah Waberi was unanimously elected president of the Ali Sabih Regional Bus Union for a period of 2 years with a score of 55 votes out of 105 voters of all bus owners. The State Secretary for Sports officially launched summer sports activities yesterday in the capital. This initiative aims to promote sports and encourage the participation of young people through several sporting activities. In this sense, a delegation led by the Deputy Director General of the National Agency for the Promotion of Sports, Mr. Ahmed Ali, visited several sport fields at the platforms in this municipality. These summer activities offers an exceptional opportunities. We are proud to see such participation. The summer sports activities will not limited in the capital number of populations to participate and enjoy these events. For the international scene, the barely invested South African president must convince his political project with the government of national unity, where political parties from diametrically opposite ideologies should coexist, raises questions. Faced with these uncertainties, Cyril Ramaphosa reassures about the priorities of this administration: creating jobs, fighting crimes, reducing inequality, and resolving energy crisis at all levels. The party, while ordered like Patriotic Alliance, the future government should be announced very soon. In just over a year, the conflict in Sudan has caused the disappearance of more than 14,000 people and displaced millions. Visiting a refugee center, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, Filippo Grandi, called on the international community not to forget the conflict in Sudan. Faced with the multiplications of the tragedies across the world, the UNHCR fears that the situations in Sudan will be drowned out by ever more chaotic international news. The UNHCR thus wants to alert the international community in the emergency in Sudan. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.